Okay. Input, yes. That's it. Okay. Now, scrying and the tape of consciousness that you will have, which will certainly be so distant from wakefulness, but distant from dream as well. It will be like taking some new drugs, which is so different from everything that you expected, that scrying itself will serve and will have effect on your life somehow as you are drugged. There are a lot of people who took this path and give tremendous meaning, prophetic meaning, apocalyptic meaning in them, sharing their personal meaning with people, thinking that meaning and importance need to be for them as well. You will see the danger of accepting all holy books all around the globe, which is in fact the beginning of every religious thought. Don't fall into that mistake ever. And that mistake is a twofold. First, to accept other visions and prophetic thoughts moving you in a way that it is important for the whole humanity. You will see the dosage of such importance for everything. Like in any tyrannic system, there is always attention to us all. It is not only important for you, but for us. So you need to say, okay, maybe I'm a little bit thinking only with myself, but what if that is really important for the whole humanity to accept? The new age, the new eon. Maybe I need to go according to that system. Eventually, all scrying system, when people or practitioner explore them, sooner or later they will reach a very prophetic part, which is of course, even me thought that it is a part of universe and something which deal with objectivity, but try always to approach scrying visions as a part of your internal movie. How much you will be able to incorporate it into outside world is a part of your skill, not a part of the urge, which is quite different. You need to be able to let everybody else have their own scrying visions, their own enlightenment, their own gods and goddesses, systems and paths. No matter how much this, and you will see that when you will have enough experience, that scrying visions is pushing you in a way that sometime raping your mind, having so disastrous, typically apocalyptic ending of the world that you need to change something which is in fact the nature in you now released, wanting to change everything. When you are on the path of salvation, then everybody else needs to be on the same path, especially you as their prophet. This is the part of our nature which is very strong, and always I advise you to think in a psychotherapy way of doing things. Always to think what is something inside of you which told you to do that. What your part of the hidden nature now is manifesting. Sometimes it can be dramatic, especially when we will do with one aspects of being, which are usually called guides, and can have billions of shape and other forms, but there is some conclusions which we can put all on one table. No matter how interesting visions will be, usually in the beginning, few minutes, as you grow in experience, more and more time you will be able to dwell in scrying vision. The maximum amount of time that I usually did and almost never be able to expand is something like 2-3 hours. And with the scrying it is very good because you can return from the place that you left yesterday or whatever. The visions can be continued, which is extremely important if you are doing something like in the program of some systems which need to resolve, let me say, Saturn, Jupiter, spheres of Tree of Life or of your universe, whatever, when you need a lot of same kind of experience so you can conclude what it is. Because without symbols becoming bodies and meanings, the symbols are not working. No matter how much in 5, 10, 20,000 years my language will be hieroglyphs to some future humankind, and they will not understand it. So without understanding what I'm speaking to you, or what your nature is speaking toward you through the scrying vision, all this is just binging the series of Netflix endlessly until your spine start to hurt and you see that you saw series 5 hours in a row without true satisfaction, because series and everything is simply click and bait kind of procedure. And you will see the scrying vision sometimes is like that. Simply you are doing because you like to do. The consciousness and the energy of the mind, which is always growing when you are doing scrying, it is very pleasant in physical and in mental way. The mind is nourished when you are doing scrying. I will just make a reference for lucid dreaming for those who watch or will be watched. Lucid dreaming draw a lot of energy from you, while scrying is giving you, because it is using the eyes and everything like daydreaming, day napping, and you will return. Usually, I'm not speaking about Enochian visions, which will destroy your energy and your attention and your morality and your sexuality especially, but the usual way of scrying, when you're doing half an hour, it will nourish your mind and give you the sense that you slept for maybe 2-3 hours. So even if you don't get a visions in the beginning, it will be good for the energy and for the growth of your spiritual program. It is a good part to, no matter which system you have, you do this as a way of talking with yourself, but without mediator directly. Sometimes this nature will be cruel, like child, spoiled, because you are spoiled and you are cruel towards somebody else. And you will be amazed, even if you understand yourself as everybody, that you are a good person, that you are pleasant, that you are positive, that you are jerk, that you are aggressively maniac, sick fuck who plays with other people like toys. That doesn't mean any negative. This is something that you need maybe to resolve. I'm not speaking that you are now, but don't be so much skeptical to see in visions, and we will talk how you can use scrying visions to get your personal guide, which is only for you in any time. And there is a different kind of guides. So the first thing you need to do after you get your first, let me say, 50 ordinary scrying experience, which will serve for your childhood memories and your nostalgic part to be manifested. But as you finish it, we need to do this seriously. And in vision, it will be almost impossible for advancement of your path without the will of go on the way. What it is? You remember when we was kids, invoking ghosts and spirits in the evening of birthdays, when we take a glass and we put the fingers, and what we say? Spirit, spirit, if there is some spirit, come and show us the way, show us the sign. And what we are doing now, we are expecting something to happen. The ghosts and spirits are not invoking by the words, come, come, but attention, who is now so attentive that there is something. Somebody will scratch. Some birds will sing a very strange noise, and our mind will use it to change the conscious instantly. You will see, especially this atmosphere, when you're watching a horror movie. When the music, oh, now this. Please, can I ask you just, I think I resolve a way how to do this. And I think I learned, yes. I need to do that. Please forgive me, because I saw it on the link that somebody of you is sending me. Now I will play with my daughters 2 days instantly without stopping. Atmosphere of horror movies without music, it's funny. Try to play some silly music, like Michael Myers holding the knife and going into the killings. It will be comic. But try to take the music, which is, we all know the music from horror, it will change atmosphere. This is exactly what you need to do in your scrying vision. How? First of all, any thought is positive in nature. The human mind cannot comprehend a negative statement. If I say, think about number 4, instantly you create number 4 in your mind. Somebody use visualization, somebody else use just an idea of 4. Somebody just pronounce on their language 4 in the mind, but 4 instantly will be in the mind. But What if I ask you not to think about the number 4? About what you will think? You will think instantly about the number 4. Not thinking about something is exactly that thing which you need to remember. The act of magic, it is the act of attention, like circus magicians building the tricks, and in one hand they are showing you something, but with the other they are doing something else. Well, in a way, I just want to show you that you don't need apparatus and vibrations and something which will turn off the scrying visions, because your mind think that if I want to call my child who is outside, I need to increase my voice and to repeat names, because once, third, fifth time my daughter hear me, she will raise attention. But what if we are speaking with ourselves? Do we need to raise attention which is already raised? We are dealing with ourselves as it is infamous. It is an imbecile. It is a blasphemy to use such kind of behavior, which is quite the opposite. If I am, because I'm professor, sometimes I usually work one-on-one because I'm professor of piano, but sometimes I take some other classes where there are a lot of especially young children. If I start to use my voice because they are very loud, very nasty, doing everything except the homework, if I want to use my voice so I can overcome their level, it is a battle I will lose. No matter how I am loud, they will be louder. Especially when they combining volumes and I am before them. But if I want to ask them to listen to me carefully, I don't need to raise my voice, because they will become more nasty and they will start to scream even more. I just need, like I'm doing now, to lower my voice. See how your attention, now it's much better, because your mind think that if I using a lower voice, you will not be able to hear me. So your mind increase attention, so my words will be implanted much better. Never repeat anything in magic. Pronounce only once. Try only once. Whatever you do, change. You never need to have the same toy or to watch the same movie, because you will feel bored. Change, play with it. So when you are start to call the guide, it is already there, but you are not perceiving it. It is like particles of vision. In each particles of separate vision, there is the same amount of guide, same amount of yourself, which only need to be perceived but not created. The mere fact that you are seeing scrying vision is the proof that you already talk with yourself. But if you are already talk to yourself, do you need something to repeat? No, because you are both the ears and the tongue. So only say once. And then just use your peripheral vision to see what will change. The more you are repeating the name of guide, or if you are just saying, oh, guide, please come. Guide, please come. Guide, I pray to you. You are stopping the scenery to change because it already started to change, but you didn't notice it. And now you are putting too much attention on speaking on the words, and instead of getting the guides before you, he will never come. You will wake up. What Dorothy did before she wake up, when she pressed the heels, it is a good place to be home. It is a good place to be home. She started to repeat, and she returned home. You need not to return to home, because eventually you will be home. In scrying, you need cleverness, you need smartness, you need to oversmart your ego, who is a really master of puppets. No matter how much you will get a blissful vision, he will use that against you to enslave you again. Because no matter how much you want to be free, he will let you to be free as long as you are inside of a prison. He will give you everything. He will open all doors just for you to be around his observation. Scrying and this kind of experience, it's bypassing, because he's using his methods before, during the day, during the talk, during the fights with people, fights with life. But with this kind of experience, he's simply unable to do anything. So don't play on his side. Play for you, not for him. Just repeat one statement or express will to call the guide. Once you do that, stop doing anything. Just observe vision. First few seconds, usually nothing will happen, and that is one rule of scrying experience, as well as lucid dreaming. Also have a lots of almost exactly rules which is happening to all practitioners, like tactile sensation, building a scrying, the vision inside the lucid dreaming, the rules of what you need not to do so the vision will be broke, and everything. The scrying is exactly the same. So from maybe 100 scrying experience, 95 guide is like this. Just say, guide, come, and see how the vision will react. It is like pressing the button of your desktop icon, and now once the program is started, you need to wait a bit, 2-3 seconds, especially if you have shit computer like me. Sometimes I wait and nothing happen, and I need to restart it and nothing happen. So if you have this kind of attention, you will realize that you need not to do anything and wait for program to start responding. Exactly in scrying. Usually after 2-3 seconds, in your peripheral vision, you will see that something is happening, somebody is moving. Never turn your head, because you will crash scrying. Let them come like little cat or little dog shining. He will come in the center of vision, and while in the center, it will become a slave of your attention. He will not be able to move from it. You need to attract, to come to the center, and you will attract it by doing nothing. The nature of the guide is to come to your eyes. When you want to talk with somebody, say, okay, come here, look me in my eyes, and then you are starting negotiation, talk, slaughtery, whatever. You need direct. This is the pattern that your silent self now need for you for talk. And you will see that there is a snake coming, circling around that tree, coming in a branches of a tree, and in the end falling as a true angel before you. So the pattern, it's always from very small, very little, almost unbearable detail growing and coming in the center, mostly. Again, first 10, 20, 30 vision, you will not be able to maintain control, because seeing something in our eyes which is not earthly and feeling a part of yourself there is one of the most amazing moments that magician can have. When I say magician, I'm not speaking about tricks and tips. I'm speaking about the man and woman who are doing everything to gain the knowledge about itself in this way. And for the first time, lucid dreaming, one of the most important experience in human life, but scrying, you will keep your wakefulness, while in lucid you will be much changed. In this you will be neither, and the colors and everything will be so bright, so strong, that emotion which will rise in you when you encounter the guide which is sent from the universe, from your being, to help you, is something that it is like meeting an old friend after a few years when you first see him on the airport, or if you are seeing with your old love after 20 years and finally you see her on the airport, and this kind of enthusiasm. You see something which you already know, but it was very distant. It is eternally distant because it is a part of universal forgetness. You forget who you are. You cannot say in spirituality, I don't know who you are. It is paradox. No, you forget. You always knew what you need to do, but you forget, like having a dream, and when you go to wash your teeth, to make shit, to wash your head, and you forget that you have dream. No matter how much you put attention, you will forget what you have few minutes ago very dramatically. You can even felt emotion, but you cannot remember what it was, because there is a mechanism of mind who will blur that for purpose. Your tripping that you are not enlightenment, it's a part of a mechanism, and you cannot do anything by concentration, by striving, while repeating anything which is usually what you are doing in a life. You need to do something else. As you see, everything that we are doing, it's almost reversed of something that we get used to it. Getting the visions, calling the guides. Not too much to call, only once. And you will see, try to call guides 5 times and try to call it only once. See and tell me later how much of you will have more success with 5 calling and how much with only 1. I always urge to you to experiment, not to be slave from one technique. Do it every time something change, something different, so eventually you will reach your ideal technique, and maybe you will tomorrow teach me something which arose from my talking. I also have a lots of drawbacks, lots of negative things which simply I cannot overcome. During time, yes, but always I reach a level, walls where I cannot breach, I cannot crush. And whatever I wanted to share with you is that the method of crushing such walls are mostly non-logical, paradox, and absurd way of thinking. Not to say that I'm against logical, no, not at all, quite the contrary. But you need to change the language you speak, because if you go to a different country, you need to adapt your language to their soil if you want to get conversation. I'm not Englishman, I'm not from America, but I'm using the language that both you can understand me and that I can express myself, but it is not my language. I change it. Imagine that I'm doing the workshop in Serbian. You will be 10 minutes and you will drop off because there is no knowledge. Spirituality is exactly like this. You need to change your tape of viewing at things, because as enlightenment, it's not thing at all. You cannot have angle from which you can observe it. So, once to finish, only once call the guide. The tape of guide, depending on the will before, it could be a lot of different archetypes. Usually, our mind need guide as superior being, because during the whole life, the teacher was always authoritarian and older, like parents, like teacher in schools, grandfathers, perfectly, and grandmothers, perfect example of old, wise, and authority. Even they have authorization over your parents because they are parents of your parents. They are most powerful in your family. So usually your mind will create something from the being of light, being with the wings as angelic, very high, very powerful, because this is something your mind has it all time from the day that you were born. But sometimes it can be an animal, like totem. It can be a color who will start to speak. Sometimes it will be light. Sometimes it will be just sounds that you will hear surrounded by the blackness, which will be lots of color flickering, but you will hear the voice. Usually, when you are reading religious and spiritual books, you will see that there is always experience from the prophets that they hear a voice in their head. You will have this very often, not so much, but let me say maybe 10-20% that action will be more on hearing rather than seeing. But nevertheless, whatever it is there for a reason. You need to see what something will talk to you. What is the essence? Usually it is something that you need to change. The way of life. Usually it is aggressive because nobody wants to change. No matter how much you are mad and angry in the world, it is in fact simple fact that you cannot say your boss, give me the salary or I will go outside. Simply. No matter how much you feel that you're spiritual, that you're brave, go talk with your boss tomorrow and say, okay, it's everything or nothing. Give me bonus. You will see how it is difficult. So your spirituality will need not to move you, need to crush you, because you are so so passive toward your change that the only way is to hit you. Like in martial arts, we have our movement, body movement, which is very, very hard, like tics, like the way of speaking, which is unconsciousness. And when we are doing some move that are totally different than this, we are not able to incorporate new movement, and we are slave of something which can hurt us or stopping us to make a good fight. I'm speaking with the fighting style, not because I'm a fighter, quite the contrary, but it is a good way of expressing. You will be amazed in the beginning how fear, aggression, and negative expression you will be left when you are finished scrying vision. Very important thing. As soon as you finish scrying vision, go and write everything, or use your phone, maybe the best, to speak in very hasty way the details, and later you can expand them. No matter how much you think, it is like dream. When you wake up, after 5 seconds, 10 seconds, you know all the dream. Only 15 seconds later, everything will be blurred and you will not be able to recollect anything from that happening. The scrying is the same. Not so much, it will be into oblivion, but maybe 50%, or not to shoot mathematical. Try to write every detail. Try to write firstly about impressions. Don't write the angel look and had a pentagram in the forehead and he has some symbols. No, this is your ego putting implants in something which is pure light. You need to talk with the language of the selfhood in a sensational level, in a level of feelings, not in the level of what you saw, but what you felt when you saw that. This is most important. One very important thing, and I need to discuss with you to share my thoughts, is it using pentagram against the being, which is an old system and symbols which will protect you. This kind of thinking is a dominant still today when we are dealing with influence which can hurt us, harm us, or make some problem. And from the theory, drawing a pentagram can stabilize the experience and can make protection against negative demonic influence. You need to ask yourself, against what do you need protection? Something which already happened inside of your mind, you cannot banish because it is already there. Only thing that you need to do is to talk with that, to see why it has that behavior. Imagine that the billions of years of evolutions and everything create your character. Your molecules of your beings are results of billions others influence all the time corridor which existed eternally, and something happened that you're feeling that I'm uncomfortable, and you're drawing in the pentagram, and now this force will banish. No, in universe things are not working as that. You can do that. But believe me, if something ran away from pentagram, it was not real at all. Of course, it was part of you. And if you want to believe that drawing a pentagram can help you, then go to your boss, ask a salary, and say, in the name of Holy Ghost, give me my salary, and you will see how much salary you will get. Never be stupid to believe even me. Try that. And try reverse. When you feel negative, when you see shadow approaching you, the devil with the teeth, try to kiss that devil. Try to hug him and tell me what happened. From all scrying experience, angels, archangels, demons, legions from hell, nobody hug anybody. And if that creatures are creatures from the light or from the shadow, maybe you need just to try to do that. And then tell me if it was helpful or not. You are drawing a pentagram so it can give you a more courage. Do you think that pentagram can give you more courage than you already are courage? It can banish the fear. Can pentagram banish your stupidity, your limitation, your narrowness to understand that you are talking with yourself and there is no banishment? There is only expressing more. There is only one way you need to accompany that being. Give me more. Give me now. Give me more. This is what you need to send. This is the signal. This is the pentagram which you need to say. Give me more. I want more. I want now. I want everything now. Give me. I'm ready. And you are drawing a pentagram so you can banish it. But if you need to banish something, then you don't need a scrying at all. You can watch a television and everything will be perfect. You can go outside and play, whatever. You will not have scrying visions, you will not have demons. It is like going to a boxing club and when you are in a ring, you put your gloves off and say, oh no, I'm for peace. Okay, you can be for peace, but the boxing match and box is not for you. You need to change. Arena, which is in your mind, don't need to do boxing. It needs to be accepted. It is a part of your being who were very quiet, who are silenced all your life, now need to be free. You cannot free it if you are banishing. You are doing the same mistake that somebody do for you when you was young, unexperienced, wonderful child. When you want toy, somebody say no. We cannot afford it. I don't have a salary for that. For the child who don't know what the salary is. So don't do that. Whatever happened, welcome. Talk. You will see in your personal life, with the worst enemy in the street, somebody want to kill you because you cut him with your car or motorbike. Please, I'm sorry. Please, everything is okay. And you will see how they will change. Say, excuse me, it is not my day. Something happened to me. And from aggressive, they will become, oh, sorry. I also, something happened also. And he will hug you and they will say, okay, you are good. Please, excuse me. Because if he wants to fight you, there is no way that you can avoid it. There is no way. But you are increasing a chance in this spiritual arena to fight and to win war by lowering the guard. How much courage it is need when demon is approaching to lower your hands and approach to demon. How much this experience will make your spiritual life bigger, stronger. To approach to demon, not to hide. Everybody can hide. Do you think that you can hide from shadow, from darkness? No. You can just, in that moment, close the time of your connection. But each other way, the darkness will be bigger because you run away. Invent light in that darkness. See what is in the room. You will see that there is no vampires. There is toys who are just look in darkness with teeth sharp and very strong. But in the light, you will see that they are all smiling. I'm using now a bit philosophical approach because, technique can be learned and you will have this. As soon as you do whatever, you will see the blackness is eating the center, and you will see the whole blackness and you will be so amazed. And when you do what is, you will see some face of some creature, and no matter how much we are all children of love, you will feel fear. You will feel a part of you who is, what is happening? Fight with that. This is what you need to banish, not the demon, but the fear in you. When you want to take to the girl who is very nice to say hello, just this, you're not doing. Because you will say, she is so beautiful, she probably have a good boyfriend. Or you just think some excuse. You never approach. Of course, you don't need to be aggressive in that. It is horrible, but approach. Sometimes the eye contact without turning away the look will be enough. But you need to have positive approach idea toward something which is part of the selfhood experience. You're looking in the mirror, literally, each time you're dealing with scrying. It is a mirror, which now it's perfectly balanced, without waves. So you are not seeing this third version of yourself as a vampire, as a demon. That means that the surface is not flat. Look yourself in a river which have waves. See how horrific sight it is. But when you put emotions and everything to be flat, you will have the experience of yourself in its truth. So talk to that truth. Don't banish it. Do you want to see the perfect timing? If you are working with the energy of Jupiter or Moon. But do you really think that selfhood in you will not be able to give you exalted experience if you are late even 1 minute? Because the sun entered a different sign and now it is not for you, you need to wait 24 hours or what? Do you really think that spirituality works in that way? Because if you are believing that will be, try not to believe in that. Doubt everything. Doubt myself. Doubt my words. Try everything that I talk to you. See if this is something which happened. If that is okay, then yes, proceed. If not, repeat a couple of more times and then erase me from your contact, and because I will be bullshitting you. There is no third option. Don't leave anything for some future for you to see. Banishment of guides, or usually after something happened, guides will take away from you. It will show you some scenery changing, and you will felt from time to time, even now, I have some negative disturbance in a scenery, and I need to invest the courage. I did pentagram and hexagram and vibrations and rituals and whatever you want. Did scrying visions change? Yes. But did I obtain something new from that change? No. No, I just switch channel. But I remain in the same spot. And the TV show will go forever. 1 channel, 2 channel, 3. Horror, porno, comedian, whatever. I need to change approach. To take away from TV, to go outside. This is what you want to do from scrying vision. To talk with the angel. If I am the angel now, what you will say to me? Hello? Okay, hello. And then what? What you want to ask me? What is the root of your happiness? What is the lottery number? How can you find the secret treasure? How can you find a secret lover? But usually all these questions you know how to answer. You need courage to approach other men or women. You need to courage and will to ask for more money. Or if that is not possible, give a quit, find another. But that is very dangerous. You ask danger. Is there anything more danger than looking toward self? Is there anything more danger than asking for truth? The worst thing. You know, when I was kid, when I was kid, I love zoo. I love going to zoo to see the animal. Now, I hate zoo. Totally different approach. I see the same animal, but I see the different cause of suffering them. And I don't want to use positive vibrations watching them enslaved. But when I was a kid, I didn't realize that they are enslaved. And I go them with full of enthusiasm. Use this change when you are talking with guides. Always think and invest proper time, not for technique, not to finding ideal music, what you will listen when you are doing scrying. Although listening to music, it's not so much good idea in scrying. It is better to put just some ambiental sound than some songs which can draw your attention. By the way, I don't know. Try to, more than everything, to write and to think what you want to talk about what. If you have 5 minutes in your life and it will be over, and I am the God, you can ask me anything. You have 5 minutes. Start. Will you lose the time to introduce yourself, to say that you're for planet Earth, that you love me as your God? No, you have 5 minutes. You will not ask me anything about the sorrowness and the history, who killed the Kennedy, did we go to the moon? Of course, every idiot knows the answer of that. But what is the true call toward divinity that you are communicating? Nobody talk about it, but they infinitely talk about, is it moonstone better than sapphire, or ruby, it's better for scrying. Nobody talk about the real motives. Okay, the angel is here. It is in your neighbor. It will be in your place in few minutes. What you will talk? How can you use it? Think about it. It is not so easy as you think. And when that creature, that shape of your selfhood, looking at yourself in a mirror, it's finally there, you will be stumped. You will lose a voice. Not because you don't have strings in the lucid dream, but because your mind are speechless. You need to move the guide toward what you want to learn. My advice, always ask guide, what is the knowledge for you now the best to take? You invert. You don't ask, tell me about it. No, you say, tell me what I am able to comprehend. And your mind will instantly lose the ground, because in the same time you will be the speaker and the hearer. And in that abstract moment, the truth will start to be heard from the lips of the guide. But not the truth that you already know, but the truth which you are not aware of it at all, about your imperfectness, about your laziness, about the missed chance for love, about things that you are doing but you are not seeing that you are doing harm. And the guide will use the pictures and senses in you as a feelings to teach you. When I want to teach my children, sometimes I need to lower my voice, to have accent on something, and my children will start to feel fear. Of course, I am against most of such doings, because I'm a professor of piano, which is one of the most difficult things to teach to younglings. But sometimes the fear is a method of realization. And the fear in your being will be the method of your angel. You need to be feared. Sometimes the guide will release some of your memory that you already forgotten. When you do some wrong, when you kill some bird when you was young, that you forget it, because it is better for you to forget that you was an asshole, that you bullshitting some your friend in a childhood, that you bullying somebody, whatever. And the way that your guide needs to learn you is to releasing the memory. It will be always very hurtful and very strong when you see the angel and remembering something. Finally, it will start to heal you and to hurt you. And if you want to banish that, then you are doing the same mistake. Maybe in 10 lives from now, if you banish, and it will, like true magician, you will destroy this vision. Maybe in 10 lives, you then need to recollect what you do now, because you didn't need to banish it at all. Experience, it's not there not to have. Remember when I say, don't think about number 4. You cannot have negative experience. You either will have or not have it at all, but not such experience. Experience in general. So thinking about the pain in scrying trance will produce the pain that you already left, usually with some path regressive experience. One of the best way of using scrying vision is remembering the past lives. Regression. The best way. It is a difficult to obtain because it will be very emotional. It's very painful and usually will lead to breaking the vision in the first place. But it can be from 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, when you're working more and more, you will eventually get the wholeness of remembering. You will not get new experience. You will have true experience of something that you push away. And in that action, it became oblivion. Oblivion, it's the contrary of enlightenment. There is no not enlightenment. Darkness, it's not opposite to light. Light, it's the darkness when particles of light are there. When they are not, the darkness, it's the natural state. You need something to glow so it can be bright. You need to have sun so you can see and have blue sky. Without it, it will be dark. So enlightenment, it's not the ignorance which is contrary. It is oblivion. It is the moment that you forget. And even now, as I'm speaking this word, you know that I'm speaking it not for the first time. This will be lesson which I'm now, as you see, trying as professor to move you from illusion that scrying will be served for senses and for glorifying your nature. Yes, it will be, but in such a different way. Truth about you is, firstly, truth about what we are not, what we think we are, what we hope we are, what we fear we are, always are. Scrying is a method of interrogation, criminal interrogation, detective work. But the main suspect is you. So, whatever, try to remember my words. I know that you will be, after the workshop, I don't know, yeah, he talked about it, very interesting, blah, blah, blah. You will forget it, and in a few days, nothing will remain. But if you are doing, yes, you will remember the method, which is very easy. I'm asking you to remember my words, not to be brave. Because if you are brave, there will be no success in meeting the fear. No, feel the fear, but step in a dark room. Did Batman is good hero if he didn't feel the fear toward the bats? No, it will be like he's a Superman. He is a hero because he's still afraiding the bats and using this movement when he steps into the darkness. He's all time afraid, and this fear give him a focus. That's the way. So when you are seeing something and you will reach it, one of the best way, but please don't do that in your first, say, 50 experience, because you need to realize peripheral visions and everything with blackness, so you can do it with the mirror, which reflects light. In the beginning, it will be very difficult for you to obtain, because no matter how much you will be successful for peripheral darkness to eat your visions, the mirror and particles of light will always stepping out, and the darkness will not be able to overcome of your own. So you need a practice, a lots of practice of regular black thing in a darkness, so you can finally take a mirror, put it in a table, and look yourself in the eyes using the scrying method. Your eyes as a crystal ball from where the blackness will start to eat, and you will see that your face, a lots of children did that, watching yourself in a mirror without blinking, and everything will start to disrupt and your face will start to melt, and it will be scary. You will have ice. When I was young, I have this darkness in the mouth, which eventually become a demon that still it's very frightful in my life, but it is aspect of me. And when I did that when I was child, without knowing about too much about magic and the mechanism of the mind, I was so scared that I literally didn't be able to sleep in my room with darkness for weeks. I did that in my lower school. Do this, but now you are expecting to see the visions and the guides from yourself directly. There is no way that you need to tell your guides, come, whatever. No, the guide will be there from the first moment, starting to hit you in the first few seconds of watching, because you are looking at the face that you already looking all your life, yourself. But now instead, that light will destroy, not letting the darkness eat. Now darkness will eat you, but it will still be you who will be engraved in such a darkness. It will be scary because I don't want to tell you. I just need to put the water. My throat is heavy. I don't want to tell you what will happen because now your mind is taking everything as a granted. I just want to leave you with that dark selfhood, with that shadow of yours that will have a words which are silenced all your life. Okay, 5 minutes of break, and then we are closing slowly the workshop. 5 minutes.